Good evening, Beardos, Weirdos, Boils, and Ghouls. Hope everybody's well. Hope you can hear me and everything's working properly. Good to see so many of you in already. Appreciate you guys. We had a little chat catching the beginning before lurking work. Really, I appreciate you for your lurking and working. Welcome in, everybody. So we got a good one lined up for you tonight. Some of you may genuinely have not heard of this channel. They're called APRF. And I discovered them initially. They did a video in Knowlton Church, and there were claims of a shadow figure in a window. And they just played with light to see if they could recreate the shadow figure. And I was fascinated by it. And I'm like, that's how it should be done. Why is the Hulk laying on the floor? I couldn't find anything to use as a green screen glove, so I used the Hulk to make something float in a video. You'll see it on the weekend. Nick Derrick, thank you for the 20 months and watching on the TV. Thank you. APRF is fantastic. A paranormal engineer, I knew you'd be a fan. So yeah, I guess to a lot of people, they're boring. But if you've got interest, a passing interest in debunking or legitimate investigating, they're really good. And I think most people that watch these guys that are legitimate will learn from them and take something. 29 tutus. Right, Sarah, fantastic. I don't swear when I've got guests on, but fuck you. Right, I'm going to pin Jolene's... I can't do it on this. Pin Jolene's comment. Guys, go and check out APRF, pretty please. While you're doing that, click the pinned link. Go and check them out. Drop them a subscription. Watch their videos as well, because subscribers don't mean shite anymore. I'll read out who's in here, and then we'll get them in. So tonight we've got Amy and Ozzy, Arwell Jenkins, Evie Stevie, Babs Robinson, Blue Floyd, Kaz Febb, Christian, Dan Lagore, Dean Bailey, Debs M, Deline Wilkinson, Diane C, Diane Quinney, Donna Arnold, Dragon Blood, Ember, Fantastic, Publishing Sarah, Heart Mode Horror, Highly Paranormal. Hey, fantastic. Thank you for the 29 months. Sorry, I didn't say that, did I? I was too busy giving you the finger. Heart Mode Horror, Highly Paranormal. I'm the Queen of the Underworld. It's Jolene. J Mad Max, Jennifer Taylor, John Torrance, Crazy Ken, Kristen Crabtree, Laura Wilson, and Casty May. Hello, having your hair done. I've lost where I was now, Casty May. That's your fault. Little Miss Mayhem, Lionheart, Lauren the Raven, Lula Moon, Matt Lyons, Mike James, Mike. Oh, Mike's Mysteries, Mr. Stigma, Mr. Don't Scare, Claire High, Mrs. Bob the Beard, Mythos, Paranormal. So good to see you back on our screens. Nick Derrick, One Annalise, Paranormal Monkey Podcast, Rebecca Visnicki, Richard Larson, Roger Bowen, Scared Little Raven, Shadow Icy, Shelley Gowlin, Silver Lady, Stacey Lynn, Stephanie, I can't say your last name, never can, never will. Stacey Lynn, Stormy Chris, Sue Painter, Tanya Phillips, Tattooed Laws, what's that say? The Fat One Adventure Show. I like that. Theodore Sturgeon, the Paranormal Engineer, the Pink Angel, Tom Gibson, Vixen Moo, and Wendy Dixon. So, guys, we are going to bring in Wes and Lisa. Say hello in the chat, and we can have some conversations. Good
Hello.
evening.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll to get my chat back. Oh, I've got my daughter's mouse, and the wheel is got buttons on the wheel, and I'm heavy-handed.
Funky wheels.
Right. Welcome in, both. Good to meet you.
Thank you.
And
you.
So obviously we've had a little bit of a conversation beforehand, and we talked about motorbikes. Not the usual. So if you could just give either one of you just give a brief rundown of what it is. Obviously, I described you really badly, so if you want to describe it better.
You want to say anything?
No.
No? Give me the go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, basically, what we're about is trying to find out if anything happens that could be possibly described as unexplained in a paranormal sense. Is there anything actually happening at exactly the same time in the environment in terms of air pressure, humidity, infrasound, anything that could possibly be causing that to happen? which is why we use data loggers, so that we can have a second-by-second record as well as an audio and visual record using cameras, voice recorders, having data loggers, so that we basically, when we come back from an investigation, we've got a comprehensive record of everything that was going on during that period of time.
Fantastic. Really. I think I watched a episode on your channel, and then were you on the Paranormal Monkey, or somebody had shouted you out? Yeah. I was just like, just blown away by, it's something that I'm going to be doing this summer, is that I've got all these local ruins and ancient monuments reportedly haunted. I'm like, why am I traveling all over the UK to pay for these places when this is on my doorstep, and I can do this every night of the week if I want to, and then build data. I can build a portfolio of what could be going on, and absolutely fantastic. So basically, your first video I learned from, and I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So when did you get into the paranormal? Is this something you've always had, or did one of you believe, one of you disbelieve, and then look for the truth, or what's the story behind your beliefs?
I didn't really get into the paranormal until Wes did, really. Just so we could spend more time together. And
well, I was already in it.
Yeah, well, you've always been in it, but yeah, since I've started with him as well with the investigations, I've got really interested in it.
Yeah, my interest began basically when I was a boy. When I was about 5 years old, my parents took me to the local library, and I read all the books I could in the children's section to do with ghosts. They used to have these, I don't know if you can remember, these compendium type books that would have stories on various types of hauntings, and Borley Rectory was the first thing I ever read about, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. I've even got a brick here. There's a brick from Borley Rectory and bottles. I bought at an auction, and I've got every book ever written on it. I'm obsessed with Borley Rectory.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely loved it when I was a boy, and so much so that I even started taking books out. And my mum used to get books out on her card from the adult reading section. So I used to read all about poltergeist. Was my main thing. So when I was 10 years old, in August 1981, a few roads away from where we lived, there was a poltergeist outbreak that was on the front page of all the national papers at the time, called the Bournemouth Poltergeist. And it started, as all poltergeists do, very low key, but quickly escalated. It didn't go on for very long. It was about a week to 10 days, but it was incredibly violent. And because my parents knew I had a real interest in it, they let me go around. In those days, children could wander around, a few roads away. You were pretty safe. And I remember being stood outside of the house. The front door was open because there were police, social services coming in and out. The front door was open, and I'll never forget hearing the sound of the lady, Mrs. Beardo, who lived there with her husband and foster children. She screamed out, "Oh my God, it's gone cold again." Several seconds later, you could hear all manner of furniture just thumping, banging, crockery smashing, screaming. And I could only just imagine what was going on in that place. And that thing about, "Oh my God, it's gone cold in there," I think that stuck with me, because I've always thought temperature. So what else? So temperature's involved in this. What else is involved? So as I got older and I started learning about things like data loggers, I did a ghost hunting sort of throughout my teenage years, and then during my 20s and 30s, not so much, but I've always read about it.
You were in the local paper, weren't you?
Yeah, I got in the local paper when I was a teenager for it, but yeah, it was a bit embarrassing. We'll gloss over that. So during the I did magic for a number of years as well. So I learned some of the ways in which people, not on the computer side of things, but some of the more traditional ways people would fake things. And reading a lot of Harry Price's books as well. That taught me a lot of those methods too. And then during the pandemic, I started watching more and more videos where it was quite obvious that people were faking things. And so I said to Lisa, look, you know, we've been going out doing investigations prior to that. I said, well, look, we need to start putting stuff out on YouTube and showing that this isn't how it is. You know, these people are going out, and every investigation they're getting something, and in some cases every 5 minutes something is happening. That's just not how it is. And so we wanted to present a more honest side and show people, look, it might not be for everybody, because it's not exactly interesting sometimes, and the technical side isn't for everybody, and I totally get that, but nevertheless we just wanted to show how an honest investigation is carried out, and we hope that's what we're doing.
Can I go back a little bit here? Did you actually hear the sounds from that house yourself? Did you hear the crocketing?
Yes, on the occasion where because, as I say, the front door was open because people were coming in and out. There were a number of professionals. There was the press, social services, the police, and I remember, I don't know what her profession was. I do remember a lady coming out just shaking her head in disbelief. But I mean, probably if the front door was shut, I probably would have heard it, because it was such a loud.
Wow.
It just sounded like, I don't know exactly what was going on. Definitely crockery breaking, but there was like loud thumping, and the lady screaming. It was, and that's always stayed with me. So poltergeists have got a special interest, really.
Yeah, I mean,
me. Yeah.
Wow, I mean, we've all wanted to be there, you know. We've heard of Enfield and East Drive, and we're all like, oh, I'd love to be there, but to be outside the door and be able to hear that and know there's professionals in there. That's...
If you if anybody wants to read about it, if you Google the Bournemouth poltergeist, BOURNEMOUTH poltergeist, there's a free PDF download that was of a report that was commissioned by the Society for Psychical Research at the time. 2 investigators went there, but unfortunately, I think they went there on the 24th of August, and the activity had completely subsided at the time. But they had a priest go in there. He cast holy water, and the holy water was thrown back in his face. It was an incredibly violent but short-lived outbreak.
That's amazing to have even just the fringe outside it, to get that close. That's the dream.
Because I was already interested in it. That kind of, I can remember even at 10 years old thinking, this is there's something to this.
Amazing. So, are you a full-blown believer, or?
I am, but I want hard evidence, to be honest. You know, I mean, we've learned through our own experiences that 99.9% of anything you experience can be explained through natural occurrences. Even things that you think there's no way that could be anything natural. If you drill down hard enough, you can find definitive proof that it is. So we want measurable evidence and hard evidence that that's what's happening.
Yeah. So Lisa, are you a believer or are you a complete skeptic?
No, I'm a believer. I had a slight experience when my granny passed away. We were really, really close. And I went to the graveside and just sat there and chatted to her like you do. And I know that there could be explanations, but this little white feather came and settled in my lap as I was talking to her. And I just get that feeling that she's always there. So I need to see her.
Yeah, that's the type of thing that I don't touch. That I get a lot of like messages and emails and stuff. Like, I think I've had an experience with a family member, and my response is always the same: have it. If it's making you feel better, if you think your family in touch with you, don't let anyone take that from you either. So equipment wise, obviously you guys don't go out with your typical REM pod and K2 and call it a ghost if it flashes or beeps at you. So do you want to talk us through your equipment and what you do use?
Okay. Well, we use...
How long you got?
Yeah, how long have you got?
A quick overview then.
Well, we use an Osmo Pocket 3 for our main
Video.
sort of camera work. And what we do for a lot of static cameras is use body cameras, because they've got onboard infrared light capability, so you don't have to always set up extra IR lights especially if you're in a small environment. And a good thing about them is they can fit on small edges, so you're not having to set up tripods. You can just set them up in a small room and just leave them running. So we've got those. We use air pressure data loggers, temperature data loggers, humidity data loggers. On occasion, we use vibration data loggers. We used one of those at Knowlton, actually, to investigate claims of the phantom horseman that rode across the ground, because we did wonder if there was any sort of subterranean activity, water or something like that. We checked it out with English Heritage, who run the site. They said after we did the investigation there isn't anything, but we thought we'd pin this vibration data logger to the ground just to check if there was any disturbances that could account for anybody thinking they heard, ghostly horse hooves, and we didn't pick up any activity whatsoever there. So what else? Sorry.
No, carry on. If you got more, keep going.
We use infrasound. We've got an infrasound monitor. We have got some light data loggers that detect any fluctuations in lux fluctuations when people claim that they experience flashing lights, anything like that. We could. Sorry.
Anemometer.
Yes, we use anemometers, and we've got a piece of equipment that we're going to, I won't say too much now, but we're going to be running through a new piece of equipment in our next video. So anything else we use?
Parabolic microphone.
Parabolic microphone, yeah, we use that in the airfield one just to help establish the position of where any particular sounds were coming from.
It's like a generation game, isn't it?
Yes, like cuddly toy.
Kenny's asking what infrasound monitor is being used. Kenny, don't you shit on this.
Yeah. No, that's fine, Kenny. No, only too happy to answer. We use the
our dreams.
we use the Infiltech Infra 20 infrasound monitor. So Infiltech Infra 20 infrasound monitor. And it detects infrasound between 0.05 hertz, I believe, and obviously 20 hertz, which is the range at which human hearing begins.
Do you have any cat balls?
No, we don't use cat balls. And
we've hidden them.
Yeah, we've hidden them. And the only apps we use were, like we did on the airfield investigation, was Google Maps, because at night time it was just impossible to see where we were walking around the airfield. So we used Google Maps and Flight Radar 24. That was really useful, just to be able to see what planes were in the area and if they were piston-driven propeller engine planes. In case we did hear anything, we could check it out on the radar to see if there was physically anything in the area.
Wow, fair play. So that sounds really, really expensive. And obviously, every team that's starting out, they're always like, "What equipment?" And I'm like, "Notebook and pen should be your first port of call. Everything else after that." Obviously, cameras, sound recorders are important, because if you are hearing something, you've got no way of recording it, then you're losing potential evidence or something to debunk later on. So all of that stuff is very expensive. If there's sort of one that you sort of value above all the others, what would it be?
I mean, in all truthfulness, I would say we haven't really got a favourite piece of equipment, because I suppose that would, in a way, be like it'd be like asking a plumber, "What's your favourite tool?" Every tool has got its own dedicated use, and it's vital for that particular use. But
it does the most, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's quite good. But I would say if we went somewhere and we were told you can only take one piece of equipment, I would say it would be a video recorder. But because you've got a video and audio record of everything you experience, plus you can also dictate notes and keep notes on that video recorder. So it's a little bit more versatile, I suppose, from that point of view. Yeah,
I've always been fascinated with infrasound. Obviously there was a certain hotel I went to a couple of times, and they were doing experiments with infrasound where they were blasting infrasound into the building, and they were more like, oh, we are blasting it in there to see if it shakes something up. And I was more of a, I'm more of a, are they blasting that sound to shake something up in us? Because there's obviously certain tones and decibels that can cause a physical reaction. I'm like, I'm not saying that they knew they were doing that. They probably were, but you know, infrasound's always fascinated me because it's like, when I get emails, like I keep getting these experiences on poltergeists. My first thing is like, do you live near a train yard? And they're like, oh yeah, but it's 2 miles away. I'm all right. It doesn't mean that it can't affect. One of the things I saw about the Battersea poltergeist, there was obviously the loud cracking that they could hear 3, 4, 5 doors away. And one of the explanations that was given, a potential explanation, was that it was coming from the sewers. Basically, they reckon that winter was so cold that it was ice cracking in the sewage tunnels, and it was echoing throughout all of these houses because they were the only houses directly over this tunnel. And I was like, that's absolutely incredible. That obviously doesn't describe everything that happened there, but it's an explanation. I'm a big fan of explanations when somebody's scared.
Yeah.
If somebody says to me, I'm scared of my home, then I want to fight. I don't really debunk things myself there. I'll direct them to people like Kev Kerr or Kenny Biddle or Jeff over on Boo Productions, and I'm like, these guys will be able to help you a bit more because they're a bit more tactful than me as well. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, it's a cobweb on your camera lens, you knobhead. I always assume somebody's trying to trick me up with something, and it's like, oh, check these guys out because they'll deal with you a lot better than me. So obviously you've spent a lot of time going to the same location over and over so you can get more data and things like that. Have you ever been anywhere where you're convinced that there is something strange going on, or something that you could see that people are misconstruing as paranormal, and you can see how they misconstrued it as opposed to blatant fakery or ignorance?
Black Swan.
Yeah, the Black Swan could be something.
Do you want to mention?
We had on the temperature data loggers, we had an anomaly that the temperature went up and down. Was it
1 degree? It's only 1 degree.
1 degree, but it went up and down about six times
in 20 minutes.
In 20 minutes. So couldn't really understand why, because there were no drafts, there was no aircon, the radiators weren't on, were they?
No.
That's the only thing really that we've had that we can't explain.
And I think that's another good reason for having data loggers, because it was only 1 degree. You wouldn't have noticed that. I wouldn't have thought, just being in bed, you wouldn't notice that. But on a graph, it does look a bit odd, there wasn't any real reason for it to be doing that. And in the same room, we managed to debunk, we measured the electric field in the room. What we normally do is we measure, if we're staying in a particular room that's alleged to be haunted, we actually measure the room on a piece of graph paper, and we chart everything out on the room to see if there's any spatial relationships between any anomalies that might occur. And during the daytime, we measured the electric field in front of the bed along the window, and it was about 5 volts per meter. But in the evening, it went up to around about 50, which is within safe limits for humans. But we thought, why is it gone up so much? And all it was outside of the windows, there was a light overhanging the sign of the inn.
Right.
And so that's what produced the increase in electric field. So, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool. I love stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not anywhere near as like in depth as you guys, but there's been a few occasions where when I was going out with Dean quite a lot, where we'd be like, all right, there was one night we felt a temperature drop, and instead of going, oh, there's a ghost with us, we're like, right, that's a draft. Where is it? in the video, there's a cut, and then we're like, right, there's a hole there, and it's coming down this tube, and it's doing all of that. But in real time, there was 45 minutes of us sort of licking our fingers and being like, where is it coming from? And then when we found it, it wasn't like, oh, we've just disproved cold spots. We were like, yes, we found the cause. We got excited that we actually found the cause and it was a debunk. Do you guys get excited for working out the real causes to things?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because you think
disappointed.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it's nice to be able to put those things to bed. You know, even if you can't actually explain it, if you have a theory about something, like I know you've been to Nose Fort, haven't you? We went to Nose Fort once, and we thought that the you know that there's supposed to be a whistling gunner, isn't there?
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, maybe that's air coming down through a ventilation shaft or something like that. So we started doing infrasound readings down. There was no anomalies whatsoever with the infrasound, and so we think we've put that one. We can't explain what it is, but we know what it isn't. So you know, it's a matter of process of elimination sometimes.
We went into that room, didn't we?
Oh,
and,
yeah. Sorry, Beardo. We're just saying this. This has got.
He said, "Oh, it's gone really cold in here. I can feel something." And there was an air vent above him.
I can feel something on my neck, at least. There's something on.
Yeah, I went there with DPI and Paranormal by the Sea, and they were hearing whistling, and I was like, I can't hear whistling. I'm hearing like a tinging sound on metal.
Yeah.
And I went up to the other end, and obviously you've been in there. You go down one of the flights of steps, and there's like this big, massive black frame. It looks like some sort of part of a crane with gate doors on there. It was water dripping on there and bouncing off the frame where it'd been raining.
Right.
By the time it got around that whistle or the echo corridor, it was sounding like whistles. Now, in our video, it's like I walk off. I'm like, all right, I've worked out what that is, and then I've worked out what those voices are. It's your own circling around. There was a couple of minutes in a video, but in real time, we were like, "What is that noise?" And we chasing it down, and we're all talking in different tones because we haven't got the equipment you've got. So it was like, right, obviously we've only got one female with us, so you've got the higher pitch voice. You speak, and then we'll see if it is circling around it. It was a lot of fun that chasing down sounds. It turned out it was us and a drip, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, have you guys ever done 30 East Drive?
No.
Would you do 30 East Drive?
Quite like to just to experience it.
Yeah.
But
I'd like for you guys to do it for the infrasound because there's clearly something moves things in that house. You know, I've experienced things moving in that house or hearing it.
Yeah.
And I'd just love to know if it's infrasound or with the devices you've got, if you could pinpoint, is there something specific, you know, especially near the stairs or in Philip's room, that's causing, whether it's vibration or sound?
Yeah. I mean, infrasound could account for micro movements, but I think it's more likely to be attributable to people experiencing seeing things out the corner of their eye, because there is some evidence that there is a bit of controversy around this, but there is some evidence to suggest that the frequency of 18.98 hertz, which is the same resonant frequency as the human eyeball, can cause the human eyeball to vibrate. And inside the eyeball, you've got these there's cone cells nearer the front, which see detail and movement. And towards the outer and back part of the eye, you've got rod cells that detect, they detect movement. The cone cells detect color and detail. And if the eyeball vibrates at that resonant frequency, the rod cells are stimulated into thinking you're seeing something out of the corner of your eye. And you hear these stories about people saying, oh, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Well, were they being subjected to a frequency that was causing that slight vibration?
Yeah, I wonder if something like that is going on in East Drive, because but then I've only ever seen it once myself. I saw, but it wasn't even calling the eye. I looked out, I saw somebody dart. I thought it was Carol darting from the kitchen into the living room. But in the same night, Dean thought he saw somebody at the top of the stairs or some sort of light anomaly. So there's a lot of corner of the eye stuff there, but also looking directly on as well. Like people that I trust have gone there and seen some you know, I'll say bizarre things, but to, you know, people that watch the fake channels, they're like, is that it? Where's the rest of it? Where's the demon monk? Why haven't you been
Yeah.
yanked up the stairs and all that sort of stuff? Because even if you go there and you can't get readings for anything, it leaves that question open, that is there something more there? Because it still fascinates me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I'm a great believer that absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence. You know, you need to be able to prove it one way or the other.
Yeah.
And just because you haven't found something, you can say on that occasion we experienced nothing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that place isn't haunted, because the paranormal isn't happening 24 hours a day, even at some of these reputedly most haunted locations. So
yeah, it's I'm always fascinated by it, whether it's the human element because of the stories, because of the movie, because of everything on media, or if there is genuinely just something up with the place, whether it's paranormal, very normal, infrasound, or I mean, the last time I was there, I took seismo devices and I left them on the stairs because I'm like, if they go off, that doesn't mean there's somebody walking up the stairs. It means the stairs are vibrating for some reason. And I put them on the stairs, and I'm like, I'm waiting in the kitchen for a bus to come round, because there's a bus comes past the house every so often. I'm like, I'm wondering if it's hitting like a drain lid or something like that. And sure enough, a bus comes around the corner, it hits a drain lid. There's a massive bang. You hear it, and the seismos didn't go off. And I'm like, but those things are sensitive. That when I'm tapping the banister, they're going off. So
yeah, the only thing about the seismos, I mean, I think that they're good devices for short periods of time, because you know you can tap a table one end and the seismo will be on the other and it'll pick it up. But we left one in a hotel room in Colchester, and when we came back in, the thing was just going crazy, and there was nothing actually happening in there. So I don't know if when the battery starts running down, if it starts giving out false positives. So we don't really use that anymore, which is a shame, because you put a fresh battery in, it's so sensitive and it's a great little device. But when we've left it for any period of time, we found, certainly for the one we've got, we can't really
I've got two, and I haven't noticed that issue with them. When the battery starts to drain, then it seems to become oversensitive to absolutely everything. But yeah, take your batteries out of them things as well, because if you put one in your bag, that switch is so easy to accidentally flick on. I drove all the way from Bristol to the Priest Cottage in Leeds, and it was going off in the boot of my car all the way up, and I'm like, shut up! Never stop learning, but always acknowledge assumptions and speculation. All right, Kenny, stop showing off.
No, Kenny's great. We like Kenny. Yeah, never stop learning. That's such a good mantra. And never be afraid to be proved wrong.
I mean, I did a live stream using a spirit level wrong, and I'm still getting mocked for it. But I remember messaging Kenny after that, and I was like, I looked like such a dick. And his message back was, you did, but you learned. You learned something. And obviously I was overtired, and I think that was our second day there. We hadn't slept very well, long drive. I'm not making excuse. I am making excuses. But still, Kenny was like, you've learned something. You've learned how, you know, it's not a complete waste of time. And you might have looked a bit silly, but there's something come out at the end of it, because you and Lee have both learned how to use a spirit level properly. I thought, I suppose so. But it is that thing of never stop learning. I mean, every time I watch legitimate people, I mean, Kenny, as much as I'll mock him and shout, you know, be in the comment section, I learned so much from Kenny. Just, he's kind of like, because he's entertaining with it as well. Like when he does, he had the doll inside the glass case. I knew exactly how he did it without even seeing anything, but I'm still like, he makes it where my daughter will walk in and be like, "Oh, what's Kenny doing?" Because he's funny with it as well. So it's a bit easier to learn than very, very straight-laced sort of guys in suits trying to. It was the same in school. You always had that crazy teacher. I was as a maths teacher he was just off his rocker, and he was the only one that could get anything through to me because he made it more fun. And that's the vibe I get from you guys. There's an enjoyment with it. You come across as just really nice people that get on really well. I mean, obviously you get on well.
Thank you.
She hates me.
But
I tolerate him.
It tolerates me.
Django, I'm not getting into that stuff here. You'll have to ask on a Sunday stream. I appreciate the $2, but I'm not getting into the drama stuff on this one. So influences into what you do. Obviously, you've mentioned some books that you read, Harry Price and things like that. Any sort of TV personalities or anything that ever influenced you?
No, not really. I mean, I have seen a lot of Kenny stuff. And I think it's great. As I was saying to you before we started, I'd love that SLS video that Kenny did, because it just showed absolutely how the SLS is just a complete piece of garbage.
I love the table tipping one that he did as well. That was really.
I hated that video. Hated it. I'd been in my living room for ages, being like, right, if I get this camera angle, and then Kenny's came out, and I was like, he's beat me again.
Yeah, but it's really been authors for me. Colin Wilson, Peter Underwood, D. Scott Rogo, William G. Roll. I just love those guys. You know, the classic sort of.
Could give you a list of books, Beardo, if you want another list.
There's a really good. Sorry, Beardo. There's a really good book called Paranormal Technology by a guy called David Rowntree. He's an actual scientist. I really recommend that. It covers a whole range of different bits of equipment. Paranormal Technology.
There's a book I'm reading right now. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Basically, the book's broken down into 5 sections, and it's like how to convince yourself to see a ghost. And there's tests and activities you can do through the book.
Right.
And I was like, I'll read a couple of pages, and then I'm like, holy shit, I'm 3/4 of the way through this in one sitting. And then my wife's looking at me like, you don't really make notes when you're reading a book. And I'm like, but there's all these tests and stuff. And it's like, I learned how to bend spoons like Uri Geller from this book, just with a description. I wish I knew what it was called. I'll post this somewhere. It's such a good book, especially for people, you know, just getting started and want to know sort of fact from fiction. And it's written in such a it's written really well where the book flows, but it's really informative, and you're taking stuff in, and then you find yourself like flicking back to like, right, on this page he listed the. Absolutely fantastic, but I'll find what it is after. It's on my living room table, and I'll post a link to it, because really good book. Obviously, I buy loads because of Justin, and I'm on a book ban at the moment. So until you get through all of them,
I've had a few of them.
Yeah, I'm sort of halfway through The Science of Weird Shit by Dr. Chris French. I'm 3/4 of the way through Paracoustics, and then I've got this other book that I'm 3/4 of the way through. Oh, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Ghostology is another good one by Steve Parsons.
That one I've got.
Yeah.
I haven't started that one yet.
Yeah.
The good thing though, Beardo, it's your birthday every day, so you could always get a book every day.
You're the first guest to have done that. What a knob. I don't think anyone said David Rowntree. Did they?
David Rowntree, yeah. David Rowntree.
Kenny's got a problem.
I've got the book just here. I'll grab it. Yeah, David M. Rowntree. Oh, you can't. Is that the other? Yeah. Back to front. Yeah.
It's fine our end. It flips it.
Yeah.
Kenny's not a fan. Hey Kenny, just while you're there, I had a message the other day. You need to stop relying on the Centre of Inquiry for your information, because they full of con artists like Kenny Biddle. I think it might have been that guy that's been emailing him and stuff. Oh dear. So, in regards to your channel, have you got any sort of long-term plans for specific locations that you can access whenever you want, or?
No, I mean, I think we're definitely going to go back to Knowlton. I think what we thought we'd do at Knowlton is, because we did such a lot last time, is go back later in the year and maybe just do a vigil. Just ditch all the equipment, just take a camera and just sit there quietly for several hours and just an old style type vigil. So that's a definite. The airfield, we're going to go back there throughout the course of the year, and we're going to test each one of our theories regarding what certain phenomena could possibly be. The sound of the ghost hangar doors. There is a small industrial unit virtually on the site where the old hangars used to stand, and we're going to try and interview the people that work there to see if we can find out when they shut the doors so that we can record the sound and see if it does actually sound, literally what Kenny said. We're going to investigate the claims and see if we can recreate what's been going on there.
I'm going back to 30 East Drive this year, despite saying that I wasn't. And one of the teams I'm going with, I was like, right, I've got a specific plan because there's all of these claims and I've never seen these specific things investigated. Let's do that and recreate it. These guys are not debunkers, they're paranormal or ghost hunters, and they were like, oh, we're well up for that. Let's investigate those specific claims. So that could be a lot of fun. Even if nothing happens, it's still like, well, those claims haven't worked for us on this date. Right, we have got a question here from Tattooed Laws. Where do you think has the most activity, and would you visit to investigate if you could? I think that's where would you investigate if you could.
I personally don't think there is anywhere that stands out, because a lot of it is hearsay, for want of a better word. I couldn't say for certain, that this place is definitely more haunted than. It'd be wrong to say that, I think. There's places we'd like to go to, but it wouldn't be right to say that somewhere is more haunted than another because we've got nothing to base that on.
Fair. Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that. So infrasound, if I'll probably have to pick your brains about infrasound off stream because I want to get further into it. Obviously, playing with this, I don't know what equipment I would need to even produce infrasound for experiments and things like that. So that's something I want to pick your brains about at a later date. Obviously, now we've got each other's details, I can fire you some emails over and stuff. So what's your background outside of the paranormal? Does it relay, or has anything sort of from your working life transferred over, or is this something you've just always, if you know what I mean?
It's something that I've always been interested in and read about ever since I was a boy. For my job, I'm actually a postal worker, so there's, I'm not a scientist and I don't claim to be, but I've got an absolute passion for it. I studied for a year or so. I started the first year of a degree in natural sciences quite a few years ago, but unfortunately I had to give that up because our youngest is disabled and things were just getting so difficult at home at the time. I just had to pack it in. It was just too stressful. So, and unfortunately I never really got back into that. So maybe that's something, at some point when I have the time, I could start picking up again. But no, I've got no formal qualifications and completely open and honest about that.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, what qualifies you to be a debunker? I'm like, well, nothing, but there's nobody out there that I'm watching or debunking that's qualified to be an investigator of any sort. They've just guys with video cameras, and they claim to have more behind them. But areas of my work have lent itself to debunking. Obviously, I worked with CCTV for 13 years, so me and CCTV footage, I know exactly the faults, the flaw, or not exactly, because obviously technology has moved on, because I haven't done that job for I don't know how many years, but for the most part, I look at an old clip and I'm like, that's that. Obviously, doing security work and things like that, and note keeping and data collecting and things, it was part of my job. So obviously, I took that into the paranormal with me. It's the boring stuff you don't see on camera because I don't do it. My entire thing is people go out and do specific YouTube investigations. They get activity that way, so I try to replicate that because I'm not a scientist. I'm not a scientifically minded person, and if I got something like most of people, what I really like now is obviously people are going to start coming to you and being like, right, I've had this. Could this be whatever? People ringing Kenny up, or people ringing the side-eye guy in Kenny up when they're in a location and something has happened, and they're like, right, I've got the footage. And then Kenny and the side-eye guy were looking at it in real time. And then the paranormal engineer goes to the location and then tests those claims out for hours. I find that far more fascinating than just constant night vision. And did you hear that? Or as it happens, Dave?
Yeah,
No,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you're getting somewhere with that, aren't you? That sort of. Yeah.
Kenny Biddleson, if your guests would like to reach out to me, I can provide more insight on the book and its author. I did post the thing that apparently he's taken a lot of stuff off Wikipedia.
Oh, paranormal technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Great. Okay. Is Kenny's email on his YouTube?
I think it's on his YouTube channel. Yeah. If not, I can send it over to you because I'm sure I've got Kenny's details. I have definitely got them somewhere.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Kenny lets anyone email him. I've seen some of the emails he gets. It's great to hear that you use different varieties of equipment, but do you have to use them individually as they may interfere with each other? Oh, that's good, huh?
Yeah, good question. But no, they don't interfere with each other because they're actually monitoring different phenomena. So say a temperature data logger has a sensor in it which measures temperature. A vibration data logger has something completely different. They're not transmitting anything, and so that they won't interfere with one another. No.
So obviously you've tested all the equipment, make sure it doesn't sort of impact on other equipment and all that sort of stuff. How long have you been testing equipment and testing environments? And
well, it must be about probably the 6th year now. Yeah, 6th year. Yeah. And we always, where we can, always try and use engineering equipment. We've got a couple of bits of equipment, like the 7-function mel meter, which has quite an accurate EMF response on it. But wherever possible, we always try to go for engineering equipment, and the reason for that is because it's been calibrated, whereas things that are designed for ghost hunting, they're not calibrated in an engineering sense, so you can't have any sort of degree of confidence that they're going to be accurate, reliable.
Have you used the generic ghost hunting equipment at any point to know that you didn't want to use it, or is it just avoiding it anyway?
Yeah. We used to do the quite prepared to. We used to do the SDES, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had one of our videos actually. Where was it? The
Grosvenor in
Grosvenor Arms Hotel. It was a DAB radio we used, and it was that particular night. It was a very fine, misty rain outside, wasn't it? And because of that, the signal was breaking up, and it caused artifacting. And apparently, because I spoke to an engineer at work, and he's just retired this week, but he told me that because he's a specialist in radio engineering, and he told me that the DAB radio, if it doesn't receive a strong enough signal, it creates artifacts. And we actually recorded, because we connected the radio to a voice recorder directly, we actually recorded the sound. It sounded, if you watch the video, you'll hear it, because I play it on the findings and conclusions part of the video. It sounds exactly like running water, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really spooked me out.
It's quite extremely similar to running water. And so obviously we looked into it afterwards. I spoke to him and he confirmed it was just artifacting, where DAB radio breaks up and it creates these artifacts in the voids of the signals. And so after that, we thought, right, well, this is obviously isn't reliable anymore. If it can do this, what else is it going to create that isn't reliable? So we ditched that. We haven't used that since.
Yeah, I kind of turned into 12-year-old me with the equipment, where I took it apart just to see what was in there. And I'm like, what is this cack? This is hot glue strings, and this is a TV remote part, and just the cheapest, nastiest bulk bought stuff off Amazon, rammed into a plastic tube, and then sold for £200 to £300. And I'm like,
that's
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And you've got these smaller sort of independent guys, like the guy that makes the Seismo and APRF, who are like, right, we've seen that. We've got better parts. It's 3D printed. There's a couple of rough edges, but it's a fraction of the cost. It doesn't detect ghosts, but it tells you there's a vibration or there's a draft. Or it's up to you to investigate why it's gone off. It's not. I'm not I would much rather buy from those guys and use. I know it's not scientific equipment. It's not scientific data. But it's like, right, that's alarm. That means there's been a vibration or a draft or something. Let's go and investigate what's caused that. Right. Do you feel infrasound could possibly work in the paranormal field, or is it too soon to say?
Don't look at me.
Okay. Well, no, I noticed Mason put a comment up a short while ago,
Sean.
And he's quite right that, hi, Sean. The jury is still out, to be perfectly honest. On that score, the way we're approaching it is that if one day there is something definitive found in it, if we've done studies over a period of time, then we've got something we can contribute towards that, and it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So that's why we're following that sort of line of inquiry, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not scientifically minded at all, but the idea of infrasound being able to cause corner of the eye phenomena or something, or that fast, or have some sort of impact on you where you think you're experiencing something paranormal. That's fascinating for me to be able to go into a building and then say to the guys, right, I'm going to do an experiment, not tell them what it is, pump some sound, infrasound into a building, and then record what they're feeling, or if they're not feeling anything. I like the idea of that. Yeah.
Well, how that came about was in the, I think it was the mid-90s in Coventry. There was, I think it was a scientist called Vic Tandy, and one of his hobbies was fencing, the old sword thing, and his sword was broken, and he had it in a vice in his lab, and he went out of the lab and came back, and a short while later, the foil on this sword was wobbling.
All right.
And it turned out that it was infrasound being generated by a fairly recent installation of air conditioning, which had caused a standing wave. Which made the fencing foil vibrate, and people were experiencing corner of the eye phenomena right from the start when this air conditioning was fitted. When they turned it off, it stopped. But after it was installed, people were experiencing the feeling of being watched, strange sensations like that, and things out the corner of the eye. Nothing sort of definitive. So that's where this infrasound thing has come from.
I wonder how many locations are just pumping infrasound into buildings so people get those experiences.
Well, subsequent to that, he actually did a number of infrasound monitoring exercises. He proved that in the London Underground there was the frequency of 18.98 hertz that could cause that corner of the eye. Loads of different locations, every single one he looked at. The Edinburgh Vaults, I think, was another one.
Yeah.
So it's the jury is still out, to be perfectly honest, but I think it's worth pursuing, because if it is proven one day, then at least you've got some sort of work of a bank of study to look back on.
I love the idea of that. Right, Christian's asking, since certain fake people get more views and maybe even believers, how frustrating does it get for you guys when you have actual proof and don't get rewarded for it or get negative responses for it?
Well, we haven't actually got proof so far.
Oh, yeah.
We've never once come away from an investigation thinking, yes, we've experienced something definitely paranormal. We've had a few strange occurrences, but nothing where in and of itself we could say, yeah, that's paranormal.
But when you got the fake channels,
yeah, that is frustrating. Yeah, it is
minutes.
incredibly frustrating because you know you're trying to be honest, but we've just got to be true to what, you know. When we started out, we said, right, we're going to be honest. We're just going to follow this path. If people enjoy it and they want to come along with us, more than welcome. If they don't, that's up to them. You know, we can't influence that. So we're just going to keep going. It's the only way to.
We briefly touched on this before. Obviously, we went live, and we were discussing like how you get these minute things that get you really excited, and other people are like, "Is that it? Where's like the bottles being thrown?" And you're like, "It's not how it's ever worked for anyone with legitimacy about them."
Yeah,
and it's so disheartening. Where even if you debunk something, where you get that immediate sort of, oh, has something just happened? You get that excitement, and then in the back of your brain is going, either you're going to get called fake, or you're going to work out exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Right, Roger Bowen's got a question. Are cryptids something you would like to look into, and how would you go about investigating them if you were? Cannock Chase would be a great place to go. Isn't that just full of doggers?
Well, dog men. I don't know if it's because people have seen dog men, haven't they? But do you want to answer that?
I've not really looked into cryptids. And that's.
I mean, Cannock Chase. You've got. I think there's a pig man there as well, allegedly. Cryptids. I think one thing that I'm really interested in is ABCs. We've had a lot of them in Dorset reported alien big cats.
Yeah.
And I actually believe I saw one night, you know, when we went out to, there's a place called Rhinefield in the New Forest, and there was a long stony path. About halfway down it, I saw this animal come out of the bracken and cross over the path, and you could see the shoulders were like, you know, a cat's got like those shoulder blades, and it was like it was a sandy color. It wasn't a black panther. It was like a sandy coloured animal.
That's okay.
It's like that. And strangely enough, similar creatures were reported around about the same time. I wasn't aware at the time that they had. So I've long been interested in that. So I'd love to do some sort of investigation at some point into like these cats that people see.
Yeah, years and years ago, about 8 miles from where I live now, there was people had apparently seen this black cat, and then I nearly hit it once on my motorbike.
Wow.
And I'm like, I've just seen this black cat. There's a fucking panther walking around South Wales. 3 nights later, my mate actually hit it.
Blimey.
And then when obviously ambulance, police, and all the rest, it was a Great Dane. But obviously you're traveling at speed. It's so dark. It's like a single track, not a single track road, but it's just sort of a normal A road, but it's just not lit up at all, and it's really windy. There's a big manor house up on the right, and the Great Dane kept getting out.
Yeah.
Now, in my head, because I'd been told there's a big black cat out, I thought that I'd seen it and nearly hit it. I shit myself. A, I nearly crashed my bike. B, there's a panther there. It was a Great Dane. And if you'd asked me for months after, or days after, sorry, it was a black cat.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that, Beardo, because I've long thought, you know, that you've heard these stories about black shuck, various counties, black shuck. I've always wondered, are these stories about black shuck possibly the opposite of what you experienced, large black cats that are being mistaken for large dogs?
Yeah, I wonder.
You know,
it is fascinating because there's so many reports in the UK, especially sort of the further north you go, the sort of north of England, there seems to be more that end, and it's fascinating because obviously there's so much wilderness and it's inhospitable to us to a degree. I mean, you go over the Yorkshire Dales, absolutely breathtaking. I'd never seen them until last summer. I was like, you could just get lost over here and never get found. And we're on such a small island, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realise how big and sparse it was there. Borderline depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the League of Gentlemen.
Reality Remix, I just started with PQ and Seg at the Fra School, Beardo, and I covered many issues with how it was done. If you want to try something similar. Reality Remixer. Sorry, Mason, if you could drop me an email, because I'm completely lost where we are there. Sorry, but it looks like something I'm interested in. What's that? I have a ghost cat in my house. Every now and again, it'll catch a tail go past me at the corner of my eye. Sometimes I feel a brush up against my leg. See, the corner of the eye thing, we could just probably just bat away. But that's pretty cool.
Mm.
Have you tried leaving cameras out? Could infrasound be present on ley lines?
Well, see, ley lines haven't improved. They're a bit of a new age thing, aren't they? They're not a scientific. Yeah, they're not a scientifically proven thing. And infrasound wouldn't just be present on ley lines; it would be present across a wide area. To be honest, so
yeah, I fully invested in ley lines back when I was like everything's a ghost, and I believe, fully believed in them. And then the amount of places that will tell you they're on a ley line and they're not, because ley lines. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the chat. But aren't ley lines what priests used to walk? Weren't they sort of paths that they used to walk to like remain outside to being caught when religions were? Obviously, there was the dissolution of the monarch and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure the ley lines initially came from the paths that the priests were taking. I might be wrong. Maybe I've dreamt that. But yeah, I've heard locations say they're on ley lines and they're not, and there's nothing measurable on ley lines. Can I just say your hair grows really quick, Beardo? I know. I wear a hat. Yeah, I've sort of always pushing it back and always wearing a hat. And then the other day, I didn't wear a hat though. My mother-in-law walked in and went, "Christ, what? So you got long hair?" Like, oh yeah, I have. I applaud your honesty to commitment. I applaud your honesty and commitment to honesty over all else. I mean, you guys may agree with me on this. It is far easier to go out there and fake everything and fake findings and entertain people like that than to be legitimate, be honest, and try to come up with something entertaining whilst being completely honest. That is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we put the music and, like the pictures in our videos, because if we just cut it down to the investigation itself, it probably wouldn't be much of a watch. And we're always going to be honest about that. So it's nice to try and entertain people with the history. We like putting a lot of history into the videos, give a background to a location. Yeah.
Beardo waters his hair with the faker tears. As my mate from Glasgow, if you could go back to any time in history, doesn't have to be paranormal, and change any major event, where would you go and why? Oof, that's a deep one.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's got to be Hitler, really, isn't it?
Okay.
Wait. Would you?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you change one thing and then it changes other. Yeah, I've seen Back to the Future. It messes everything up. Yeah,
that's a great question.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Change any major event. Where'd you go? Yeah.
You'd have too many repercussions.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable answering that because it could just affect so many things, couldn't it?
Yeah.
If I could go back in time and change history, that's got me thinking that. I'd probably go back and change the Green Lantern movie and just stop it ever getting made. Probably daft to suggest this, but could the cat you saw near the New Forest be a New Forest pony, i.e. a foal?
No, it's not daft, but it definitely wasn't a pony. And the reason why I say that is because the Brackham was about just above knee height, and this animal was around about that height, and the head was level with the back. Pony, even if a foal, the head would be higher than the back of the body, and more likely than not, it would have been with its mother. So it definitely. I'm not saying it definitely was a cat, but it looked extremely like that.
Could have been a were-pony.
Were-pony. Yeah, we saw a were-pony in our airfield investigation. Could have been.
Go.
Could have been that.
See, that question there, the way that's worded, probably daft to suggest this, and it's like, this is where we are with the paranormal.
Yeah.
That a pony is a more daft suggestion than an alien cat, or
Yeah.
this is what mainstream TV has done.
Yeah.
Really, where the stupid questions are the logical ones, because that's
Yeah.
not a stupid question. I don't think.
No.
Right, if you had to only watch one YouTube TV paranormal show for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, don't know. Do you know what? I really do like Uncanny, because I think Danny Robbins has got a good approach.
He's a great storyteller, isn't he?
Yeah, and I love the way that he goes out of his way when he did that wind tunnel thing to prove. Yeah, I mean that's dedication, isn't it? Yeah. So I never really used to like that, but I've warmed to it. I think it's really good. Yeah, I enjoy watching it.
Yeah, it's for me, it's Danny Robbins is us. He's the audience member.
Yeah.
He's the participant and the guy that wants to know. And then you've obviously got Kieran, who is staunch in his skepticism, and then you've got Evelyn, who can be quite skeptical, but is ultimately a true believer. And then you've sort of got that triangle, but then you've got the guests and their stories, and the way Danny tells the stories are next level. Some people have been like, "Can't believe you like that crap," and I'm like, it's the least insulting paranormal TV show I've ever watched.
Yeah.
I don't feel stupid for watching it.
No.
Ley lines originated as trade routes in the 1920s. They go back much further than that, Dean. Surely. I'm sure it's to do with the dissolution of the monastery. Maybe I'm wrong. Right, APRF. I've been subbed to them for so long. So happy to see them on the Beardo channel. Made my day watching from the beginning. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Deadpool already did that. No, he didn't, because the DVD is still available. It was on TV the other day. Don't. It wasn't until 1961 that Ley lines began gaining the popular pseudoscientific. All right. So even the explanation that I thought I'd heard was probably some pseudo nonsense. At least we know. Bloody hell, Kenny. What's your favourite cryptid? I know they aren't real, but I love listening to the stories, and my favourite is Nessie.
Oh, what's yours?
I don't know.
I absolutely love the legend of werewolves. I've got loads of books on the history of werewolves. I love that kind of because that goes back centuries in Europe. Love all that. Yeah.
Mermaids are cool as well. The old tales of mermaids where they were more scary.
They were proper scary, weren't they?
Yeah. I do like mermaids. Dean Bailey, thank you for the £5, Dean. We did have that one, didn't we? Yeah. Beardo, can you dye your beard pink to match the blue beard? I don't think it would take over my naturally black hair. Not dyed. Stop laughing at me. What's Kenny got here? Alfred Wilkins, 1855-1935, coined the term Ley in 1925 in his book, The Old Straight Track. The lines themselves were ancient trade routes much older than the 1920s. There we go. There we go.
It's interesting, isn't it, to see how things evolve over time. Start out as one thing and then...
Chinese whispers. Kenny just Googled that, guys. He didn't know that. It's such a tough problem that if you genuinely want to trust the information you're given, you have to research for hours on end because there is just so much misinformation out there. Case proven with ley lines. There was 5 or 6 of us, all with different origins for the ley lines. And then Kenny comes in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the thing is to always cross-reference stuff and not just take your information from one source. Sort of check it across several.
Yeah, back in the day, I believed in the power of that and witchcraft and all sorts. Is there any equipment that has your interest at the moment which you don't already have or have used?
Yes, definitely. I'd absolutely love to get an acoustic imager. And what that is, you know, the thermal imaging camera, and you get that coloured image on it. Well, especially in things like poltergeist cases where you have rappings and tappings, and people say that it seems to come from all around. They can't pinpoint where it is. Excuse me. Well, an acoustic imager will actually, using a similar readout on the screen, will actually tell you where the sound is coming from. So you can pinpoint exactly where knocks, raps, taps are actually coming from, and it would be very useful for debunking as well, because it could turn out it could just be a branch tapping on a window, something like that. So you could more easily investigate a particular area. It would save time and also give you a better degree of accuracy in your investigating. So an acoustic imager would be a definite.
I like that.
So that's on Christmas list.
Kenny, I was only joking. Google. Wait, we could really upset him. Kenny used ChatGPT for that answer.
No. I'm disappointed.
In the US and my area, Texas, today, many of the roads we drive today were once wagon roads used by the original settlers before the Native Americans. Yeah, I think a lot of our country lanes and stuff, all the windy country lanes and stuff, they were the old sort of Roman marching paths and stuff, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Would trail cameras have a use on investigations?
Yeah, I mean, I've got one. We were going to use it. We're going to be going to a church for our next investigation. It's not actually haunted, but we're going there to. We put out. Pardon? Or is it? Well, we don't know.
Or is it?
This is the thing. We've gone to loads of places that have claims to be haunted and come away with nothing. We're going to this 12th century church. We're going to spend the night in it, the entire night, just us, using similar equipment and see what we come away with. But we're also going to be demonstrating infrasound and a new piece of equipment there, Kenny. Yeah, so...
What was the question?
Yeah.
Sorry, I clicked off it.
No, that's all right. Yeah.
Gone off on a tangent.
Yeah. Have you ever done an investigation anyway where it's felt weird or uncomfortable, where you can't explain it or couldn't explain it to the point where you finished early?
No, never, because you're going there for a particular reason. Why would you pack up? And if you feel uneasy, well, why are you feeling uneasy? Surely you'd want to stay there longer to find out. Yeah, no, we'd never do that. No,
I did. I did it once. I scared myself stupid at East Drive and I left.
Oh, East Drive, really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
It was more my own brain. It wasn't anything that happened. It was just after the thing with Griff with what looked like a chest push on him.
All right.
And all night I was like, if this thing is so powerful, I'm just going to call it a piece of shit. I was going hell for leather at it. I was calling it everything you can think of. And the people I was there with, they were like, oh, that was fun, right? We're going home. And I was like, all right, cool. Oh. And I think Carol farted or something next door. And I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. And I was about an hour away from there, like, what have I just done? You absolute I didn't run away. I was just like, I don't feel comfortable. It's a long drive. I may as well leave now. Oh, dear. No. APRF, have you or would you ever go to East Drive?
Yeah,
Do
we
that?
would do. Yeah, we just it's just a matter of having our youngest looked after, really, isn't it? You know, that's the only thing we'd sort of
we don't like to go too far away from home, like an hour or hour and a half.
Yeah,
because just in case we need to get back.
Yeah, but we'd love to at some point. You know, it's not always going to be that way.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, at the same point, though, with the style of investigation you do, and with 30 East Drive being booked out so often and so far in advance, I don't suppose you guys could do the type of investigation you would want to with such a short time frame, really. I mean, you could do a bit, but
yeah, I mean, we'd like to go back. That would be the thing. It's nice having locations that are nearer, so you can go back at regular intervals.
Yeah,
Something like that. Would be a bit more.
Sorry, just getting rid of a troll.
It's all right.
Yeah, I've got it, Roger. Thanks. Like, why would never mind. Right, investigation weird. That threw me off a bit. Then sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. I would like to come to Norton Church for you one night.
Yeah,
I'd like to
definitely.
come down.
Yeah.
I'd love to come down, see how you set everything up, get you guys to talk me through the equipment. I'd love to film it as well. Even if I never even put a video, you know, just for my own sort of, because I've never investigated the way you do. There's elements where I'm like, oh, I could take that. I've taken bits from Kenny, but yeah, ultimately, I'd love to come. You know, ultimately, I'd love to investigate somewhere with Kenny and then watch him just smash my hopes and dreams. But yeah, going out with you guys, Kev Kerr, who I'd love to work with Kev Kerr. Obviously, I've worked with Justin a couple of times. There's a number of people, and to me, there are definitely wrong ways to investigate. But the people I think are doing it the right way. Is there a right way, really? But you know, the people that are at least honest and thinking outside of the box. I love thinking outside of the box. I thought I was really clever taking a Tesla coil to East Drive, plugging it in, sparks going everywhere, and I'm like, never seen this before, have you? And then I did a debunking video on a channel a couple of weeks ago at the East Drive. The copyright struck me, and towards the end of the video, not only did they do a Tesla coil there 3 years before me, but it was the exact same one that I bought. I was like,
oh no.
Somebody's done it.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. But no, we'd love to do an investigation with the Beardo. Yeah, any time. But we'll sort something out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, summer and autumn. I don't want to do it in the winter. That'd be
no. Oh, when did last year we did it, and it was back this time last year we did it, and it was
so
absolutely
cold.
Freezing. Yeah.
Yeah, this time of year, because I'm overweight, I can self-regulate, you know, but I've been some places outdoors in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
And like the camera grip is so cold.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, DPI, I tell you how cold it is at Knowlton, because they get out there quite a bit.
Yeah.
If you would have the possibility to visit a location outside of the UK for a year, what location would that be?
For a year.
Oof.
I don't know. It would have to be somewhere, probably somewhere in that's got a lot of history to maximise your. Maybe somewhere in, like, I don't know, Germany, the Black Forest, something like that.
Oh yeah, that'd be the dream now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It'd have to be somewhere that had enough history to lend itself to. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Yeah. I mean, even having a history. Sorry.
Yeah, with the amount of equipment you've got, it'd have to be somewhere quite condensed, I imagine. Like a full year in Alcatraz with all your gear, you probably wouldn't be able to investigate every floor of every building.
Yeah. If I'm honest, I mean,
in a year.
No, I mean, the first video we did the second floor, didn't we? Of was it Sea Wing in Shepton Mallet Prison, and we thought, blimey, this is our first YouTube investigation. We'd done quite a few before that, but even that we thought we maybe might have bit off more than we could chew, because it's a hell of a size location, So we do prefer the smaller locations, but I think every now and then it's good to just get out of your comfort zone. And because some of these places are quite interesting, but they're big, so you just have to bite the bullet and go for it, I think.
Yeah, the first really big place I did, I was overwhelmed with where the hell do I start? And then he was like, "What's the most haunted sort of area of it?" And they were like, "C Block in Shepton." No, not Shepton.
Shrewsbury, was it? You went
Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
That was sort of where they were told me I could have my own area and stuff, and I was just like, "Well, C Block's the most haunted apparently, but everyone's going there, so I don't want to ruin everyone else's." Because I would have just sat in C Block all night. I'd have sat in that cell waiting for a shadow figure if I had my way.
Yeah.
And it's like I looked at the rest of the building. There's so many claims. I was like, I don't know what I want to do, where I want to go, but I also want to avoid ruining other people's nights, because setting up camp. But it's unaffordable on your own then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jolene, you're not fired. You're allowed to go for a pee. Hi guys, regarding Holmesley Airfield, I've done nocturnal wildlife surveys there and other new forest sites and never had any paranormal experiences. How do you vet claims before investigating? That's a great question.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's just a matter of doing lots of research at a location, and if there's enough stories and claims for an investigation, then you think, right, well, let's have a look at this, just see what we get. And lo and behold, we got nothing. But yeah, so many people have claimed to have. We had somebody comment on that video and say that they'd heard something there. But you just, some people go there and hear things, others don't. We do wonder, to be honest. I think we said in the video, Holmesley and I think Stony Cross is another airfield that has a campsite, and strangely enough, they're the only ones that claim to have had any paranormal experiences. We do wonder whether or not being campsites,
just people wandering around in the dark.
Is it just people telling tales around the campfire at night, and these have got developed into something a little bit more? Just don't know.
Yeah, possibly. There's so much to take in for every location. I mean, you go to, for example, the Four Crosses, which I was dead set against ever going to again, and then I only went the second time because of the social aspect of it. All my mates were going, and we were gonna just have a good time. And then there was something weird, and we spent all night trying to debunk it. Couldn't debunk it, so we've booked it again. And it's like, but we've got to rule out so much because it's so close to such a busy road. Even though it makes the job harder, it's still kind of fun because you're like, right, we've got to discount this, and this. So we'll try to investigate those specific claims in different areas. And then the fact that we had some really bizarre noises and we were hearing it, cameras picking it up. It didn't sound the same on camera, but we knew what we were hearing was there because it's picked up on microphones. And I always said I'd never go back, but it was to have that not come up with answers to the point where Mike and James are up, pushing ceiling tiles up in the bathroom, chasing water pipes because they think that the feed for the urinal may have an airlock or squeak in. And then me and Lee spent 45 minutes checking every door in the building, if we wiggle it a little bit, and then waiting for a car to come past to see if it would cause the same, and not finding anything. And then we're like, right, when can we come back? Trying to get back. We went from we don't want to go back to can we get back in ASAP? Because the chasing down sounds is fun, or to come away with, I don't know. I love the feeling of I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been to Stony Cross. Only ever had a great waffle and ice cream from the ice cream van.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a dog insight, and it's one of the reasons why we've not gone there.
Places are.
Yeah.
The New Forest.
Paranormal engineer, audio is the hydra of paranormal evidence. You cut off one head, mundane explanation. There's always two more. Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah, it's our biggest bugbear. You know, when you get noise pollution, you get other people on investigate. When we went to Shepton Mallet prison, other people were investigating, well, supposedly investigating and making so much noise, and just trying to eliminate contamination is.
The trouble is, they have hen parties and that there as well. So unless you pay to go on your own, which is out of our budget,
if it's
you're
out
going
of
to get that.
the channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers budgets,
Yeah.
the prisons are so expensive. But it's like, you know, if somewhere relatively new, I mean, we're in the UK, we've got castles and ruins and monasteries and all sorts, you know, abbeys all over the UK. But somewhere that's dry with a roof and power, the prisons, they're quite old, new in the grand scheme, but quite old. And if negative energy can sort of cause something to linger behind the prison, well, a prison, why not a prison? But going into one with other people is just the most soul-crushing experience. I was so excited until somebody 70 meters away burped, and I was like, holy shit, I heard that really loud. In fact, I think by the time it got to me, it was louder than when it left their face. And it's like, you can hear people calling out, but they're calling out loud. And it's like, if there are ghosts, they're not deaf. Why are you shouting? And it's just, it's
that's right.
It's a bit of a downer, that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why it's always important to take notes. Every investigation we do, we always take this folder with us, and we make notes of any sounds we hear, so that when we review the video and audio, we can discount certain things from that. So yeah, constant note taking is a really good.
Yeah, me and Dean, we got into the habit of not so much notes, but audio notes. Like, you've heard something and then you turn the camera and be like, that was a car, that was an ice cream van, that was whatever. But we had one night where we heard what sounded like somebody hitting an old skin drum in the tree line, but it was moving away from us. And we wanted to go back to investigate it, and it's been a disaster every time I tried to go there. It was flooded out, and then there's other people there, or there was a ska punk tribute band one night in a pub like 2 miles away, but it was echoing through the valley, and I'm like, oh, come on. Would you ever go into a debate with fakers about the equipment they're using, or do you think it would be a waste of time?
I think it'd be a waste of time.
Well,
they're going to do what they want, aren't they?
Well, yeah, maybe, but I'd like to think that I wouldn't be against having a conversation with anybody. You know, just to challenge them on why they're using the equipment they're using, and maybe suggest why they might not use it. So yeah, I don't think it would be a complete waste of time, because that's one of the reasons we're doing this, is to try and convert people to you know, seeing that there isn't another way of doing things. It's I know it's exciting seeing something happening every 5 minutes, but it's just not real. It's not. If people want to see a genuine investigation,
I'm more in Lisa's line of thinking, where I think they know exactly what's going on. And it's the false positives that gives them their reactions or something to react to in their videos to make their videos exciting, which just put for entertainment on it and be done with it, you know. Have you ever investigated or ever considered Tarrant Rushton Airfield near Witchhampton?
Yes,
we've heard of any of that.
Yeah, funnily enough, we have.
Said about that a couple of weeks ago, didn't
we? Much of that, unfortunately, I mean, where we've investigated at Holmesley, a lot of the runways, or where the runways were, is still there. But Tarrant Rushton, much of that has been turned over to farmland now. There's still the concrete perimeter track that used to run around the airfield. That's still there. I've never actually been there. I've lived in Dorset all my life, but never actually been there. And I've heard it's quite an eerie place. But there's only one hangar building left. That's used for farm equipment and farm machinery. But there isn't really anything. There's nothing there. Much the same as Holmesley. There's no buildings, really.
Ah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
We had there's a place. It used to be called Boys Village, and me and Dean went in a number of times. And the last time we went, every time we went, the gangs of kids turned up and they were throwing stuff through windows or what was left of the windows, just trashing the place. And we had a quiet night for humans one night, but we kept hearing this really bizarre sound. And then on the camera, I was like, it's an ice cream van in the distance. But then on the cameras, I was like, no, that's music being played somewhere. It's like we need to go back and investigate that. Is it coming from the power plant or something? Somebody got. Is it a tannoy system or something? We weren't saying it was a ghost. It was just a really weird thing we'd never heard before. And then we went back and we were like, that rubble mound one there yesterday or the day before, whatever. We climb over this rubble mound and it's just gone. There was nothing except the church. And we were like, they took out this entire thing. We were gutted. We're like, we'll go and investigate the church. It's only a little tiny church. We went down there and this guy's face popped up over the fence, scared the crap out of us. We were like, what are you doing? He's we were making a rap video. We were like, obviously they got every right to be in there. And we were like, oh, well, it was probably the last chance. I don't know if the church is still there. I know there was a big movement by Joe Calzaghe, the Welsh boxer, to save the monument because there was a Remembrance Sunday monument there and they were going to demolish that as well. So as far as I know, the only thing there is this monument. We were gutted, absolutely gutted. It's only 30-minute drive, but to go somewhere that people have had experience or claim to have experiences at, and then just see it leveled, it was like, oh no. And it was like it wasn't one of those places where you're trespassing. It was abandoned, but the police didn't care. If they turn up, it's like, safety, guys, don't go climbing. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever done an investigation in a relatively modern place? We always seem to be drawn to places with history. Does the age of building make something less valid?
No, it doesn't. We had a lady contact us, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was about a year ago, 18 months ago. A lady contacted us. She sent us a video of her husband. It was quite bizarre. It's a video taken. I won't say where it is because I promised her.
Yeah.
She sent us this footage from a Ring doorbell. Her husband was approaching the front door, and you saw this. It looked like a mist appeared behind him. Went behind him, and he reached for his back pocket, and he said that it felt as though something was pulling the keys out of his back pocket. And as this mist went by,
I've got a feeling I've seen that. I think that made was it snow on the ground?
Was there snow?
I can't remember.
Do you know? I think there might have been, Beardo.
I think it was.
Yeah, that made it onto Nuke's top 5. That clip.
Did it? Well, that was just around the corner. Yeah, was it?
It's like a guy, and you see him do that, and there's like a mist. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, and I said to her, because she said, "Oh, can you come round?" I said, "Well, no, not if that's just all that's happened." I said, "No,
if something else
happens,
then,
let us know." But just based on that, I said we can't determine what it was just from that.
I think I know exactly what happened with it.
Yeah,
I don't think anything grabbed his pocket. I think he slipped on the snow, and that mist was an exhale because he's just shat his pants.
Yeah, because I asked her, if they had like a boiler on that wall, if there was any
it looked like hot air.
Hot air, coming out of the boiler, condensing in the cold.
Yeah. It sounds like the exact same clip.
Yeah.
It's funny that it made on Nuke's top. I think it's been on Nuke's top 5 and Slapped Ham and a couple of others as well. He was one of those that did the rounds for a bit.
Well, that's weird that she said, because she said that she was genuinely really frightened for her husband. But I spoke to her. She said, she sounded really frightened. And so if they've now released that, that's a little bit.
Unfortunately, there's Pro so many videos, I'll probably never find it buried amongst all of those clips.
Yeah.
a guy in the snow when he sort of gives it that and then taps himself. But
Yeah.
yeah,
He's just coming to the front door.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was just round the corner from, wasn't it? Yeah.
Are the two of you debunkers who go and investigate?
Yes, I mean, I think you have to debunk as you go. We do believe, but you can't just assume that everything is something paranormal.
No.
Because we've seen that happen too many times. You sort of think something's happening, and there's a perfectly rational explanation for it.
There we go. Decepticon Arachnid. I've watched that video of yours. I did a video on it. It was in the top 5s, yeah.
Blimey.
That's weird that they're telling you she's scared of it, yet she's sending it the nuke.
Yeah, that's
Slapped ham.
That's naughty, isn't it?
But yeah, in regards to the two of you being debunkers that go and investigate, like Kenny Biddle, I'm a debunker. I debunk YouTube videos, and that's what I do. Kenny doesn't call himself a debunker, and I completely agree with his reasoning. He's not. He investigates claims of the paranormal. And whether that be for or against, he goes out and investigates those specific claims. And that's what you guys are doing. I mean, the Norton Church one, where you were playing with light to see if you could recreate this shadow. And you're like, well, actually, at this angle, then, you can reproduce. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you almost reproduce it side by side? Was it? You did. You had.
On the stonework on the inside. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, we showed how the light shining in through the window, because of the shadows of the uneven surface of the stonework, could actually produce a face. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. What if it happened to Nuke? So he just put out online, but was worried. I mean, Nuke was a guy the last time I checked.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's weird. That's weird that somebody would send you something like that.
Yeah.
And then put it on the top 5. I've had something similar, but the guy told me he was doing it. He sent me a fake clip. He'd staged it.
Yeah.
Asked me, could I debunk it? I emailed him back, told him exactly how he did it, and he was like, "Yep, you've nailed it, spot on." And then he said, I'm going to send it to all the top 5s. He said, I want to see how many I get onto. And I never saw it.
Yeah.
Actually, I did. It ended up on Slapped Ham. And Slapped Ham actually invented a backstory for it. The child wouldn't sleep in his bed at night. And I'm like, 6 months ago, this guy sent me that clip. And he was bollocks. He told me it was. So he sent the clip with nothing. He just sent the clip to Slapped Ham. This is a really weird experience or whatever. And Slapped Ham included this backstory. The kid was scared of his room and stuff. There was a good couple of months gap. And I'm like, is that what they're doing? They just... And then there was another one, put a video out of me and Ghosts on Trent having an experience, but he didn't realise that I was in the video. He must have just thought there was just some bearded guy with them and not Beardo. He put the video out and he edited out the debunk. So you hear this weird sound, you see me and Mark react and be like, what's that? And then we chase the sound and whatever. He puts all of that in and then he uses another clip that we used after the debunk. So he chopped that bit out and then put that out. And I'm like, you've just lied about me and Ghosts on Trent. It's really underhanded, that.
Because
if I hadn't have been there and been able to back the Ghosts on Trent boys up, how many people would have thought that they had just sent it into those channels and claimed it as paranormal? Not that channel had gone to them, scraped their video, taken out the actual debunk in the middle, and just left what looked like us being freaked out and we'd heard footsteps. But we think they amplified the sound as well to make it sound more like footsteps than what we actually heard. Did you see ghosts when you investigated?
No, we've never seen one.
Who knows how many other teams have done that too? Yeah, it does make you wonder. The top 5 channel, I went at them quite hard for a bit. Then I was like, oh, they're just having fun. But then when they start taking people's clips out of context and adding backstories, I'm like, that's wrong. Because obviously back in the day, it was like if you got a clip shown on Nuke's Top 5, your channel blew up massively. And I think people are still chasing that, but it doesn't work anymore. The YouTube doesn't work in that sense, which is both a good thing and a bad thing, that it doesn't matter who you collaborate with or anything anymore. It doesn't really boost. You could go viral with a clip on Nuke and then your channel blow up and become your full-time job.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen anymore. Because even when me and Dean first started, it was like, one day I'd like to capture something you could send to Nuke, and then it was sort of that realization is like nothing's changed since I stopped investigating years ago. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nuke is a 6-hour video. Nothing happened. So obviously you've got some fantastic equipment that I'm going to pick your brains about and hopefully get into the field with you guys and see in the field, see her in action. Not play with them. It's the wrong word. I'll sound like an idiot if I'm playing with them. But obviously, there's some fantastic places down in South Wales. If you guys have ever got the time, obviously, when you've got your home situation sorted, you'd be I'd love to take you guys down to either Tinkinswood Burial Chamber or Candleston Castle, because Candleston is so eerie. I've never seen. I don't know anyone that's gone there and not said it's eerie. The people in the comments on Facebook, I did a post, a couple of photos I took off my drone footage, a little bit of the backstory, just an engagement post, and so many people like, oh yeah, I've been there in the middle of the day, and then everything just goes quiet, and I got really freaked out by it. I didn't realize it was haunted. I didn't know the story. I love that sort of thing. But to go there, because obviously there's claims of shadow figures and shadow things around the building in the sky. Now there are bats there, but these people have reported seeing really large things. So obviously with the equipment you guys have got, because me and Dean were just doing this for the camera. There's a bat.
Yeah.
Obviously with your equipment, we could get a good sort of baseline for exactly what wildlife is there, what shadows it's creating and stuff. That could be debunking wise really cool, or to walk out there and like still don't know what caused that because it didn't happen. Sky Talker, thank you for the gifted membership. Trinket, yeah, we will. At some point I want to travel up to these guys and go to the church they've been to, and I'd love to get them down this end. So yeah, I'm sure it'll happen because I don't have restrictions, to be fair, with traveling. I'll go anyway. Well, except the Ancient Ramen, I won't go there again. Anyway, thank you, Sky Talker. So obviously you've been on the Paranormal Monkey podcast, or you're big fans of Kenny Biddle and stuff. In regards to obviously when the debunkers found you, because I think it wasn't just me and Justin shouting you out, was it? There was other debunkers.
Oh, God, Crow. We got really well with Crow. Yeah, we love him. Yeah, he's great.
How have you found sort of the community and stuff? Because obviously you're paranormal investigators.
Yeah, we love the debunking community.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and we'd feel quite at home.
And Sarah from Fantastic.
Oh, Sarah, she's amazing. Yeah,
Sarah's lovely, and it's such a shame what's happened with her this week. I genuinely felt for her. Beardo, got to say, prefer that. Joe, that breaks my fucking heart. The cheap mic that I got sent for free sounds better than the 500 quid one behind me. Absolutely gutted. Absolutely gutted. Sky Talker, thank you for the 28 months surfacial hair. Lady Lisa. Smurf man.
Sky is lovely, isn't she? I'm still waiting for that Sockle Ganger.
She's making it.
Yeah.
Topiaca. I don't even know what is Topiaca tapioca.
Tapioca.
I don't know what that is.
It's like semolina rice pudding.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like rice pudding. I don't like semolina. Just as a kid, I wouldn't eat semolina just because it sounded like salmonella, and I thought I could get salmonella off it.
It's disgusting.
Uncanny Husband Danny Robbins has boomed. Do you think he's ultimately done good for the paranormal community?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I certainly do, because now the skeptical minds have got a voice on mainstream TV.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, at no point is anyone ridiculed for what
No.
they think has happened to them. And there's a scientific element to it, like the wind tunnel, just to disprove that was to disprove Kieran's debunk of it, or what Kieran suggested, which was, it's the only thing I've ever given Kieran any shit for. Where I was like, a 90-mile-an-hour wind in a living room. Where'd you come up with that? But yeah, I think it's done good. That and what's the other one with Shanna Leary, the girl, the ghost, and the grave.
Oh yeah, the Welsh lady. Yeah.
The Paranormal is called it. Paranormal on BBC. I found that obviously that's far more to do with researching and things like that. But then obviously where she went to the Ouija board session, she's like, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. And then when she comes out, she was like, they were pushing it. I don't know if they know they were pushing it, but I don't want to say anything, so I'm just going to leave. It's smarter paranormal TV where hopefully that will bleed down into YouTube. People will see Uncanny doing so well that they will want to get to the truth of it. Tell the spooky stories by all means, because they're cool. They're really entertaining. Entertain your audience with the creepy, scary tales. But then look with logic. Take the aspects of Evelyn and Kieran and smash them together. But be the Danny Robinson. You're the audience, and you're speaking for the audience. I think it's fantastic. I really do. I think it's the best thing to happen on the paranormal mainstream TV, and I hope it bleeds down. I really do. Guys, do you think we're any closer to detect life after death?
Not at the moment. I don't think. No.
Not through wanting trying.
Yeah, I think ultimately it is going to be science that proves it, and I think Sarah says sometimes I think it's quantum science that's going to prove it. It's going to be something in that area. I think.
Yeah. I genuinely hope that we get in my timeline or my life that we get to the bottom of it, no matter which way it goes. My head is telling me it's all explainable. It's just something we don't understand yet, and it's something physiologically, it's something to do with us as opposed to the environment. But my heart is like, please, before I die, can a scientist say there is something that is happening, scientifically provable, whether it's a time slip or a dimensional shift, something where they're like, what you guys have thought was the paranormal is now the normal because it's a time slip, a dimensional slip, or a tear in the quantum realm, or I know that all sounds ridiculous, but something that we don't know about yet in our time of life comes around, and it's like, you guys haven't all been crazy. You haven't been wasting your time. There was actually something to it.
I mean, you see glimpses of it with some of these out-of-body experiences. People, people who have, to all intents and purposes, have died and been resuscitated, and they tell people stories of what was going on in the room when they couldn't possibly have known. And I know some hospitals now even put objects high up on the top of certain like ledges or cupboards, whatever, and people have identified these objects when they couldn't possibly have seen them, and they claim to have floated up out of their body. So
there was are you talking about the one with the tennis shoe on the windowsill?
No, I haven't heard of that one. No, I've heard no.
That's all right. I'm not going to be a Kenny Biddle and smash your dreams, because there was a story of a woman with a tennis shoe on a windowsill. She had an out-of-body experience, floated out of the hospital. She saw this tennis shoe on a windowsill, and the story did the rounds for years. And then the guy whose book I'm reading, that I was talking about earlier, he went to investigate it, and he was like, right, the window that nobody could see the tennis shoe on, you can actually see. But the first port of call in the hospital, she was there. She would have been able to see it. So was it an out-of-body experience? But not only that, the staff were actually discussing about this tennis shoe that had been on the windowsill for 3 weeks. And they were like, how the hell did it get there when you can't open that window? Somebody's thrown it up there. So while she was comatose and she heard conversations about this bloody tennis shoe.
Yeah.
And it turns out that it was a very logical explanation for that one.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is people that have had their eyes taped shut. They've passed away briefly on the operating table, been brought back, and they've identified precisely objects that they didn't even know.
And what was said in the room.
And what was said in the room, which could be explained. But the objects, certainly they wouldn't have been able to see objects because they're obviously laying down. That there are some strange stories.
There must be something after dead. I genuinely hope so. Genuinely hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, what a waste of time otherwise.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. No do-over. Well, it won't even be. It's not even. That's it. There's just nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find the thought of there being absolutely nothing scarier than anything paranormal.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying.
It's got to be something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can't be just it.
Yeah, maybe we level up, you know. And we are the ghosts, but it's really different.
Yeah.
And we just watching Ghost Hunters like you idiot. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Wes and Lisa part 2. I was thinking of asking you two your opinion because it was sound that pushed me back into my body and I woke up alive with a perfectly functioning liver. 2 nurses shared a womp.
Because it was sound. 2 nurses. Oh.
Could it have been the defib thing?
Were you defibbed?
Oh.
Leave me alone with the spirit level cack.
Yeah, it's too.
But at least if there's nothing, I won't care. True, but it's to get into the nothing that's the scary bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh dear. What were your thoughts on the I Love You videos with the Ouija brothers? It's probably one of the most talked about videos that I still can't get my head around. Did you ever see that?
I love you video. Can't remember that one. I love you.
They're in I think it's an old care. Yeah, it's an old care home, and they keep hearing. They just hear a male and a female voice, and they can't work out what it is, but it happens over and over and over again. And then in editing, it says "I love you," a man, and then a woman saying "I love you," and then they went through their phones and all the rest of it. We did a live stream where I went on the Ouija Brothers channel, and I'm like, because my background is security, they were like, could security guards be playing a trick? And I'm like, there's no cameras in there, so where's the payoff for it?
Yeah,
but it sounded digital. They never claimed that it was paranormal. They just couldn't work out what the hell it was. And they were like, we'd love it to be paranormal. We got no proof. And then same story. They went back there and it'd been demolished.
Right. I wonder if it'd be possible with something like that to run it through something like a sound spectrum analyzer to study the frequencies to see if the male and female voices, the frequencies aligned with what a human male and female would produce.
Somebody, I think it was I think it was Gingy. Gingy actually found one of the voices online, or as close to it. Yeah. But obviously, I say obviously, I don't think the Ouija brothers had their phone on in their pocket and didn't realise. Griff had a game open on his phone, but there's no speech on there.
Right.
But there's an intercom system in there, and I was like, it could be the intercom, and they were like, there's no power in the building. I'm like, yeah, but those things will run off batteries for years. They designed if power outages happen for safety, you know, same as certain light fittings will run on batteries for years and years. Maybe it's something on that, and somebody was pranking them, but where's the payoff? Because for a security guard to see them, there'd have to be infrared cameras in there. And for you to have an infrared camera in a building to prank someone, if you walk in with an infrared camera, you'll spot it because you'll get the infrared glare.
That's it, yeah.
Because a lot of people will say things like, 30 East Drive's got hidden cameras and hidden speakers, and it's like, all of us have looked. We've never found anything there. And it's in the attic, and it's like, what's the point of putting a camera in the attic? Because infrared, night vision, every team that goes in there, it'd light up.
Yeah.
You'd see it.
Yeah.
Right, Debunked Paranormal did a breakdown of the audio, and I thought Mr. Gray found the clip. Yeah, I'm sure Gingy sent it to Dandalf. I'm sure it was Gingy that found at least the woman's voice. I'm pretty sure. I might be misremembering because this was what, nearly 3 years ago. But yeah, it did the rounds for so long, and then when they went back and it had been demolished, devastated. I need 17 cups of coffee, and it's only 5:30 a.m. Jesus, 17 cups of coffee. I've already got heartburn thinking of 17 cups of coffee. Right, we have come to the end of the evening, weirdos. Lisa and Wes, thank you very much for coming on. It's
Well,
nice
thank
to
you.
have, been lovely to get you guys on and pick your brains a bit, and hopefully we can get out and do something in the field together.
Definitely.
Not like that before you start. So APRF, I have linked their channel to the top of the chat. If you guys want to go over and check out what they do, it's fantastic to watch. There's history in there as well as the debunking and the trying to recreate what people have experienced. Anything you want to say to the guys before I chuck you into the lobby?
Just thank you for everyone's support. And
yeah, it's such a great community. Thank you so much to everybody, and creators and people in the chat alike. We appreciate everybody.
You're awesome.
Yeah, and the reason why we do this. Thank you.
Brilliant. Right, thank you very much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and let's get out and do something soon.
Yeah,
definitely.
Thanks, Beardo.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Right then, guys, another one done. Part 6. Good night, Mama Geek. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's nice to have guests on. It really is, and hopefully these guys will get some extra subscribers and some growth. Because much like the rest of us, they are seeing the subscriber count rise by 10, and then 12 are booted by YouTube. So hopefully we can help them out a bit. Babs Robinson, thank you very, very much for the £10. Super good, super interesting. Thank you, Beardo. Thank you very much, Barbara. I appreciate that £10. That was a good one. Paranormal Engineer, do you want to do next week? Are you available for next week? I'm sure it's my last one next week. I'd love to get you on. They are a very nice couple. Yeah, lovely people. Obviously, I had a half-hour chat with them before we came on. Just really, really nice people that I've got a lot in common with. A lot of fun, very fascinating. Blessed day and night. Cheers, Donald. Absolutely, I do. Right, Paranormal Engineer, I'll pencil you in for next week. Send me a message wherever you can, and I'll just double-check diaries and stuff, but I'd like to get you on as soon as I can. So thank you, everybody. Please do and go and check out those guys. I don't know if anyone's live or whatever, or got a premiere. I think Bristol Paranormal have got something at 9. Yeah, it'll be Bristol Paranormal Hunters, Sandra's Wednesday live. If you want to go and check that out, it's always at this time, right? Yeah, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. UK time. So thank you, guys. Obviously, I've got no end screen or anything on yet, so I'm just going to leave you all to it. Much love to you all. Beardo out.